Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Guess which one is sick today?
You'll never guess.
It's always Dawn.
It's not. I was sick the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
True.
So for once, it wasn't always Dawn, but it
Like,
usually is Dawn.
It's Dawn, always. And then the odd time she's not sick, you're sick.
Or you're sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I haven't been sick in a while, though.
Yeah, you and I take turns, and Dawn just always.
Every
Actually,
other time.
Like for the little while though, like I haven't been sick. Like
Like
the
I was
last
fine
thing
for
I
like a week.
no, the last thing I had was before Christmas, and it was the neurovirus. So that wasn't even respiratory. That was like
No, I feel like you were sick like January 1st.
no.
We'll have to go through our group chat.
Yeah, like
Yeah, go through our group chat.
Yeah,
I
screenshot it.
I thought I was gonna come down with something. I remember that, but then I ended up being nothing. But yeah,
you're like, it's nothing.
it was nothing.
Just a case of the sads, because the period between December and January is like the most depressing time of year.
January is the worst depressing month of the year.
Just sad because
You're like, look, your credit card bill comes in.
Well, that too.
It's supposed to be like starting fresh, everything, but it never is. I mean, like over half of like New Year's resolutions end by February. So
it's not just that, but people tend to like memorize like their family members that are no longer around in January. Like it's a thing.
And if a breakup happens,
who am I not starting with this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. This is the first year. So for our listeners out there that don't know our lore, I don't talk to my parents, and this is the first year milestone for both my parents. First year, my dad sent no gifts. So no gifts for the kids. He's been sending gifts for the kids the past couple years. This year, no gifts for the kids, which is fine because they didn't know where these gifts from came anyway. And this is the first year my mom didn't even bother texting Ernest, my oldest son. So, like before, she would text me, and I wouldn't really respond. And so then she has my son's phone number, would text him. And this is the first year she didn't text anyone. So both my parents, I think, are finally at least respecting the boundary. So now let's just hope they keep it up.
Just keep it up. So like it's kind of like a bittersweet moment, right? Like this first Christmas I didn't talk to any of my siblings, and like it's for a good reason, but like I miss them. Like I miss like living, like experiencing my life with them, but like I don't regret. Like so, like it's a good thing, but also.
Yeah, like I just kept hoping that like, because like the last time I really had a conversation with my mom, she said, "Fine, I'll go to therapy with you," and or I'll go see your therapist with you, and I said, "No, I don't want you to see my therapist because she's gonna be biased against you, and then you're gonna completely ignore everything she said and say it's because she's biased against you." I was like, no. I want us to find a therapist together that we can continually see together, and individually and whatever, and work with. But I said, you have to pay for it. I was like, I'm paying a few grand a month for my children's therapy. I feel like you should pay for your children's therapy. And she never, like, that was like, she's responded since then, but previously, but like, she never booked a therapist appointment. She never found a therapist. She never whatever. But like, I was like kind of hoped that my parents would reach out and be like, I'm sorry, or can we talk? Like, I'm very, like, as long as you're putting in the effort, then like I'll receive it, but I'm not gonna break my boundaries just because. But instead they decided to withdraw further, which is totally their prerogative. I'd love to see which of their kids is gonna take care of them when they're older.
Who's gonna actually put them in a home, or are they just gonna rot on their floor? Like, oh,
It's
See
not
you in the
gonna be me.
hospital.
It's not gonna be me. I can tell you that much. Yeah, I always say, don't let my parents at my funeral. If I'm not talking to them by the time I'm dead, I want them there.
Don't worry. Me and my cyborg self. I'd be like, yeah.
You're just the bodyguard, like the security of the funeral. You're just kicking people out.
Yeah, just a robot.
You're not on the list.
Yeah. My robot list.
Jessica, what are you drinking today?
Okay, so I am drinking Michelob Ultra just because it's like a low carb beer. It's 90 calories a can, 3 grams of carbs. And I'm doing my New Year's resolution for the month of January. And I'm just trying to like lose a little weight so I can fit into the clothes I already own. So.
I don't want to have to go out and buy new clothes.
Exactly.
Right. Sonia, what are you drinking tonight?
Not alcohol. I have a coffee I'm finishing, and then I have some cans of pop to drink. I'm trying to like finish a sandwich, but
yeah, I'm just drinking
Partly.
water now.
I
did have a cranberry ale too, but I finished it, so now it's just water.
Yeah, Dawn's a trooper. We were like, we can reschedule. She's like, no, I got this.
Yeah,
because like I said, like tomorrow I could be even worse, and then I'm gonna be like, no, I have to cancel that. And so it's like, while I'm still like up and going, like might as well get it over and done with.
No, fair.
fucking rip off the band-aids. You know what? Fucking just get it over with. Spending time with you.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like if I'm like feeling like worse or whatever, like then I'm dreading like coming back. Like so I'm just like no, because then I can like relax tomorrow. I just like chill the fuck out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said on our pre-drinks episode over on our Patreon. We're over like 150 episodes, never missing a Friday. So if we are nothing, we are at least consistent.
Yep.
So go us.
Yay. Like I don't think like I call in sick more often. Like you know, our percentage. I do not have 100% rate for like paid work, but I have 100% rate for podcasting. Like
we figure it out. I mean, like there's been times where I've had to like reschedule stuff, and I always try to give as much notice, and we always just like find a day where we can make it up, or like you know,
do a double.
Yeah, or even we've done a few weeks where we triple recorded just to like make sure we had a buffer because we knew shit was coming up. You know, like we just worked through it. We just figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been this like dedicated. I'm pretty sure like I've missed like appointments for my kids. I'm like, we can. No, it's fine. Like date nights, I'm like, I don't feel like it. But
I'm like scared to miss a podcast recording now because like I feel like because it's gonna happen one day. We can't do this till we die, you know. So eventually there's gonna be a Friday where we're like, shit, we don't have an episode, and that's gonna be like I can already feel it.
We can remaster an older episode, just put like a remix track in it, and then post that.
It's just like boots.
Yeah, just in the
like,
background.
Just the background of
like fucking porn little tunes.
We had like a drop.
Yeah.
Bull semen, bull semen, bull semen.
Yeah, perfect. And then it's like a new episode.
Perfect. Well, we'll just I'll just make it the title of that episode and then brackets remix.
So. Like it's all cut up into like different ways. Like it's not all in one thing.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
You think we were off topic before? Wait till you listen to the remix.
It'll make it in like order. Like just.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that someday. see what happens. You know, just try it out.
Just try it.
Okay, so we are not spinning a wheel today because if you didn't know this, we actually have an opinionated Lushes Discord. There's lots of like was it like sub channels or whatever?
Yeah, so many. I
channels.
try to talk at least once a day in one of them.
There's so many. We do, you can share your opinions. We post stuff about us. If you're a Patreon member, there's a private Patreon section. But just lots of shit. We like to hear from you. And we actually got from Zingy Bingy, which is a personal friend of mine. I just don't know if he wants me to like use his like actual name, so I'm gonna call him Zingy from here on out. He's a friend of mine, online friend of mine, because we are into the same internet show. And he joined our Discord and had a question for us. So I figured we would talk about that today and see where that conversation leads. So he said, is our current form of monogamy a capitalist construct? Is it patriarchal? And I will add context for him. He and his wife have recently got involved in like they are now like they're living like a polyamorous lifestyle. So yeah, and navigating around that with a therapist. So good for them. But
that's great, like to help manage those like big emotions that could happen.
Yeah,
like that's like a great idea.
Yeah,
nice.
They're doing
I like
the work. Yeah, they're not. You know, it's not like when you hear like straight men talk about it. Like he's a straight man, but I mean like the you know the stereotypical where they're like, I just want sister wives. Like I just want a bunch of wives. It's like that's polygamy and that's gross. Like
yeah, that's not polyamorous.
Yeah, like let's focus. So does anyone have any thoughts? It doesn't have to be exactly this question. I know he just wanted us to like touch on polyamory because I think it's a topic we haven't really touched on a lot on our podcast.
I don't think we talk really much about sexuality a lot on our podcast at all, or like relationships.
That's because we are just open to all of them.
I know, that's right. We have no really like strong.
We don't have an opinion because we're okay with everything. We're just like,
that's right. We're
live
like
your
whatever
life.
you want to do.
Yeah, and I feel like because like none of us are like single or like you know we don't have like news story like where it's like oh me and my husband, you know, like it's a lot of our stories because we've all been with our partners for I'm the least longest with my partner and we're hitting 11 years this year.
Domri's the longest.
I am the longest. We are 22 years.
Yeah. Fucking old bitch.
For me, I'm like, I can't imagine being with him for 22 years. But then I'm like, I'm already at 11. Like, what's another 11?
There.
Right?
You're halfway.
That's what I feel like all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I've already put so many man hours into this.
This
so
project.
Like, I can't, like, you can't let it go. Like, speaking of, like, poly relationships, like, the aspect I would absolutely love, but I've spent 22 years with my husband. I can't share him now. Like we've built this life for 22 years, just me and him. I don't think I could have a third now just because we've had that foundation. Like that's all we know.
It'd be weird.
It would. Mm-hmm. It would be hard to build like, and then that's hard for the third person to come in with that history that's between me and my husband.
Jessica, how do you feel about being friends with people who've been friends for 37 years? Like, it's just,
that's pretty much me coming in. I don't know. I fit right in. I don't care. I've known you guys for 37 years too. I'm only 33, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I had to dream that she was like in our relationship. So
I'm in, man. I'm in now. I'm part of the lore.
Yeah. And if you like listen, like on our Discord, we have like we talk about dreams, and there's a one from recent where we talk about where I had a dream where I was with my two friends, and like Jessica gave me like a big sloppy kiss. So like we're in a relationship.
I had a relationship too. I mean, I dreamed too about us all in a relationship.
I'm the girlfriend, and to be fair, I did kiss both of you at Dawn's bachelorette party.
Bam.
So
I mean, we were. I mean,
they were just pecks, but still.
No, there was a little tongue. I believe there was a little tongue.
I was pretty drunk. It's okay. It was Sonia making the pina coladas. Okay, and you want to know. They weren't even 50-50. They were like
75-25.
Yeah.
It was rum with a little bit of like pina colada mix.
You know how expensive mix is? Like you gotta
more expensive than rum?
It is in comparison. I feel like
I get it at Dollarama now.
Yeah.
that's $4. Like,
Okay, how much is a 26er of rum?
but like you gotta make it last.
40.
Gotta make the mix last. You couldn't buy like 2 or 3 mixes. You're like, no, I have to ration this one bottle.
Yeah, like $40 a rum, and she's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna give that to everyone. $4 a mix. Whoa! We gotta portion this out, like
A hint of pineapple.
and coconut, coconut milk only a little bit. Don't go over.
No, like it takes you know what? No, like I feel justified that like the booze is like this big bottle of booze, but then you have this tiny bottle of mixer. Like you can make like 100 drinks, so you have to do mostly booze, so your mixer lasts longer.
I feel like you could have just bought more mixers, but you know, I'm not the professional. So
Oh, thank God I'm not a bartender. I get fired. They're like, you're putting too much alcohol. I'm like, they need it.
She's never getting her smart served. Like never.
Like I don't water down nothing. They're like, you don't want ice. the liquid's cold enough.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I feel like it's a little I don't know, like when it comes to polyamory, like for me, I feel I with my husband, we still have like issues we're working out that I feel like if we added more people into the mix, it might cause those issues to like we just ignore the issues because we're dealing with new people, you know what I mean? And like with our kids and everything, like our schedule is already so tight. If I add new people, I have to take that energy, that time away from somewhere. And I'm not taking away from the podcast or my kids.
Right?
So the next option is either house cleaning or my husband. I can't get rid of house cleaning if I'm going to have guests. So the only
Or you can give it to
option-
them. You can give them the house cleaning. Like
well, not right away. You have to like, you know,
like
like
walk into it.
yeah, it's like, by the way, if we're gonna date, you have to do my dishes. Like, I'd be like, fuck no.
Yeah, like first date, I'm like, oh, here's my kitchen. Like,
let's have a date at my house. Well, with a vacuum. Come on.
I mean,
oh my God, imagine, would you leave? Like if you got like invited to somebody's house.
Like you just like, oh, come over for coffee. And you hand them a mop. Be like, here you go.
yes, I would leave. I would like if they were like, oh my gosh, I'd love to hang out, but I'm just struggling so much with my housework. I'd be like, oh, do you want me to come over and help? Like,
that's
and then
different.
I would come over and help. But if I go to your house, you fucking hand me a broom. Like, fuck you, bitch. I'm leaving.
Like I feel like I'd be way too awkward. I'm like, okay, like I'll finish this game.
I'm gonna do that next time. I'm like, okay, bitch, you're here. I know I said we're gonna do this, but actually, you're gonna help me clean. Thank
That's
you.
different. I would totally help you guys clean. Like that's not like
I would help you clean if you were talking to me prior, like before. But if I show up to your house to hang out and then you hand me a broom, I'm gonna be like, this is really rude. I'm gonna leave. I didn't come over
I'd
here
be
to
like,
clean.
okay, you guys need help. I'll do it. Like you don't even have to ask me. Like just be like, oh, like we're cleaning today. I'm like, cool, okay. Like that.
I feel like even if I was asking you guys over, like I would let you guys know ahead of time. I'd be like, hey, like I need to
if
clean
we
my
have
house a little
plans
bit.
and you change them, I'll be upset.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like if you're is the person like inviting you over to clean, or are they just inviting you over with no plans in mind? You just know you're going over.
Yeah. Oh, usually
That's what
like hang out. Like I go. Sometimes I just show up at Don Marie's house
Yeah.
and like we just sit and hang out on our phones. But like sometimes we have plans, and sometimes we don't have plans. I don't know. We nap. I'm okay with anything. Like just invite me over. And if you're like, oh, we're cleaning, I'll be like, cool, okay, you need help cleaning. But like if it's a date,
yeah,
like I'm like, oh, like you're supposed to like you invited me over so you can make dinner, and then you're like, okay, here's a broom. I'd be like, okay, I'd clean for like 2 minutes and then like sneak out. Like I'd be like, okay, cool. I just
think
gotta
I got a
then
phone
I just
call.
fucking
In a
go.
second.
Yeah, like don't put me to work on our date. Like
Unless
that
it's
just
planned.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I
not
need help with transitions. God damn it!
Yeah.
I need to know what's happening.
Like that's it. You're like, oh, and if there's no dinner, that make it worse. Like I feel like if there's food involved, it might make it better. Like I might stay for the meal part. Like it's like I'm very food motivated, but then I'll leave. I'll be like, oh, like I got poop madness. I gotta go. Like I feel like that.
That's what you do. You say, I got poop madness. And then they'll never invite you over again.
You do
Sweet.
not want this in your house.
They'll like bring the plunger with you and then like the toilet bowl scrubber. Here you go. While you're in there.
Oh man.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna say names, but like at Dawn's bachelorette party, like I
What
started
happened there?
yeah, a lot happened there. I started kind of seeing like this woman, and like I came clean to my husband about it. I was talking to you on group chat while I was doing that because I was so scared, but I was like, I gotta be honest. And then he did the whole, general straight man thing where it's like two women, that's so exciting. But then after a little time, I think it kind of like started to like weigh on him a little bit. So eventually he asked me to stop seeing her anyway, which was fine because after 2020, she kind of took like a right-wing pivot anyway. So I would have thought it wasn't in the long term anyway.
I feel like they were people like 2020 just really brought out a lot of colors of people. Like they were always been this way, but like we never really paid attention because we never really had to. And then bam.
Yeah,
Just
she
all
used
the
to be
crazy came
very I don't pay attention to politics. And like back then it was like, okay, like that's not a big deal.
There wasn't
like,
anything serious in the world to really go about. So like we're just like
ignorance was
other
so
than
bliss.
yeah, it's just like where our taxes go. But I mean, other than that.
Yeah, it's like there was still stuff going on, but it was so far removed from us white people in Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
And we had a liberal government and we had, like so things seemed like they could be better, but they're not like they could be worse,
Yeah.
like so like the fascism wasn't so glaringly obvious. Yeah, and then suddenly 2020 hit and she suddenly had political opinions. So
They just bam.
bam, they're like in your face. And
Yeah.
99% of them were based on conspiracy. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we didn't talk a whole lot, so
Right? Like when you're not talking about things, your views don't really matter. Just
yeah.
I got so lucky because at like the beginning of our relationship many, many times ago, we didn't do much talking about anything. And then it just like so happened like parenting views were the same, political views were the same, religious views were the same. Like it just like we're like engaged at this time. We know nothing about each other because we're too busy doing stuff. Just got lucky.
That is lucky.
Like yeah, just 100%. Well, there's some stuff we don't like agree with, obviously, but like I'm gonna say 70%, which I feel like is a really good amount of percent because you need like a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah. And like some things like are more important to
agree
on, so it's like if the weight of this thing is like, oh, okay, good, they agree versus this light thing, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And I feel like at the beginning I was also crazy, so I think that helped with viewpoint. No, I like, oh, I dare you to come up with something.
I mean, I do that with Chris. Like a lot of the times, like we agree on most things, but I think like where I'm at, like I'm a lot more radical, I would say. So like sometimes things come across as a disagreement and I'm just saying no, I agree with the basic sentiment of that thing. I just think that's not the way to do it because that's been tried before, that's been blah blah, or like the more liberal it's hard to imagine a world without capitalism kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Is where he's at, a lot more reform. And I'm like, no. Capitalism is the problem. And I think that's kind of where we're at. But we both agree the same people are bad. The same politics are not so good.
It took me 19 years to convince Kyle. So Kyle and I have been together for 20 years. It took me 19 to convince him that like capitalism is bad. Like
he got there though.
Yeah. Well, he comes from like a more money type family. Like I come from like a dirt ghetto poor family, so I understand the need for community and like people coming together to help each other a little more. He's like, if you work real hard, you get lots of things. And then now that, we're working really hard and we don't have lots of things, like I work all the fucking time and we're still like, like we need to buy groceries on sale. Like it kind of shows like, fuck, why are people working so hard? Like he just feels like his view system is like, everything he thought to be true is no longer.
And that's really hard to go through too, like being deprogrammed in that way. Like you see that a lot with like religious people when they're like leaving the religion. Like they kind of go through like this like, because like everything they were ever taught or believed like disappeared. So you're like, you don't know what to do with this newfound knowledge.
Yeah. Well, like maybe one day Chris will be the same. You're only on year 11, right?
Yeah,
so you have like 8 more
yes,
years.
Yeah,
he's
11
he's
more.
socialist, so he's on the way there. He's very anti-billionaire, anti-landlord. Like he has a lot of those things, but like in the communist utopia, like money wouldn't necessarily be like a tool we would necessarily need because we'd have all of our main needs met kind of thing. That's just the socialism idea. And so like I think he's there. I'm just a little bit more radical than that, which is fine. It's fine because most of our agreements are the same, and I think if I went to jail for doing something to someone, he'd be okay with that.
He'd be okay with you going to jail, or okay for the reason.
I think it's a sacrifice for all of us, for the greater good.
For the greater good. Okay, not that you're leaving the house.
No. It's just it's on site, Galen.
On site.
I got a fucking fist. It's on site. Like I'm like thinking, I got no record. If I got close enough,
pop.
Just pop up. Like I fucking to get me arrested, what, like 2 weeks in jail? It's fine. I don't care. Fine.
For what?
For punching him in the face. It'd be for
I
simple
thought
assault.
we were talking about like
No. I'm using a fist. We're in Canada. I don't got no gun.
Got a knife?
I'm not
Use
gonna
a knife.
stab him.
A shank? Out of paper? Do you know how to do that? I can teach you.
I feel like the type of blade isn't necessarily the issue.
She does not want the blood splatter back on her. She doesn't want to ruin her outfit.
And
you don't pull it out.
No, you twist. But it's like he's gonna have a bunch of bodyguards around him, right? So you get like one shot. And I feel like with a punch, it doesn't like matter if I get it good or not. If it's visible and like well shot, then it's like at least
you gotta practice speed. Like Rocky montage, like that. Yeah, like go like putting it like people go in and like stab people in prison all the time, like 30 times in like less than a minute. I feel like you can get like 10 in at least in one hug.
Okay, but like again, I don't know if I'm ready to go like for life in prison with the terrorism Luigi charge. I'll be honest, like Luigi's young, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's in his 20s. Like he gets 25 years. He'll be out in his 50s. Now me, I have a genetic condition where I could like lose my mind in my 50s. And I'm 33. So if I get life in prison, like I'm not out till I'm in my 60s, 70s at the earliest.
Yeah.
So like he has time, I feel let me get a punch in, do the 2 weeks in jail, reconvene.
Yeah, be like, oh, can I do longer?
Yeah,
like it's like your
Yeah, and maybe I'll get tips from the people in jail.
A test run?
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, what would you have done in this situation?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a criminal. Like, I need to learn. like,
You could like start polyamory. Like, I can't pronounce
polyamory.
it. Oh my god. Fucking shapes.
Sorry,
Oh.
continue.
You can start that in prison. That could be like your 2-week trial.
I feel I can like Chris, is it okay if I fuck people in prison? Is that like allowed? Like you can go to prison too.
Yeah. Kyle, if I go to prison, would you mind if I bang other people? In prison, yeah. My cellmate.
Have you not seen Orange is the New Black?
Right? Like, yeah, it's fine. Kyle's cool with it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's like when people say like postal codes don't matter. It's like
I'm in
it's whether or
prison for
not
2
you're. That changes things. You can't wait 2 weeks.
Just the locks will be changed.
You just run through the entire prison. Like you're like, I only got 2 weeks.
Line up.
Oh damn. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna message Chris.
Find out.
If I go to prison,
Don't tell me right the amount yet. You have to look.
yeah, no. If I go to prison, would I be allowed to bang people? Question mark.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna message Dave.
Okay, where's those tests?
Questions.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna add. Actually, so everyone listening, in our description will be the Discord link, and I'm actually adding this question to our share your opinions. Would you allow your partner to sleep with people if they were sent to prison? Would the reason or the length of time or length of the sentence change your position? So if that is a question you'd like to answer, feel free to join our Discord. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah, you might have to scroll
18
up
plus.
like 2 weeks.
18 plus.
Scroll up a few weeks, but
Yeah, I said, if I go to prison, would I be able to sex my cellmate? And I left it at that.
yeah, I feel like
You know what Chris said?
What?
Yeah, lol.
okay. That's what if it's been 2 weeks?
Even if it was for 2 weeks. Okay, no. I said if I go to prison, would I be allowed to bang people? He said, yeah, lol. Please don't go to prison though. I'd be sad.
Dave, what's going on now?
Yeah, what's going on?
Each of our husbands different. Your husband's like Kyle's like, yeah, if you're going there for a long time, 2 weeks, no.
Like maybe 3 weeks.
Dave's like super concerned right now. He's like, wait, what's going on? Why? Why are you going to prison?
Dave thinks Dawn's actually going to prison.
Would it really be that far fetched from me though? Like, I can see.
And
his
then my
concern.
husband's just like, sure, just I'm gonna be sad if you actually go to
I'll
prison.
miss
though.
you.
Yeah, I'll miss you.
I didn't get a miss. I was like, fine, whatever, do what you want.
Yeah, I was like, even if it was for 2 weeks, he just put seems awfully specific.
Oh man.
Oliver, yeah. So polyamory doesn't count to prison.
It doesn't. all it's like no glove boxing.
I feel like if you're being treated as a slave, you should be allowed to fuck whoever you want.
Right? All like rules of society are out the window. You're a fucking savage. Just go. Do raw dog everywhere. It's fine.
I mean, and it's also like it's bad. Like I feel like a lot of it is like internalized like queer phobia, where like a lot of people will be like, if it's a girl, it's okay or whatever, because they don't view it as like a potential real relationship. You know what I mean? Like when you hear a lot of men, they're like, oh, my girl can do whatever with girls.
No, not for Dave. Dave's like possessive. Like, no one, guy, girl, don't matter. Don't.
That's
don't look at me.
good. That's good. That means he's valuing your relationships with men
He would
and
punch a
women
girl.
on equal levels.
Like, he would actually hit a girl if she hit on me. He'd be like, "Get the fuck away from my wife!" Like, he don't care. That's the only time he'd ever hit a girl. It's just if they hit on me.
Okay, Chris clarified his answer. He said 2 weeks. I mean, seems a little light. I feel like if it was for a few months, that'd be fine. Haha.
2 months.
So,
Not 2 weeks.
yeah,
Would
2 weeks.
He changed.
I doubt he'd go that far, but I might be sleeping by myself when I get back. But
Yeah.
3 months though, no problem.
There you go. Now you know.
Now I
Now
know.
you know.
So maybe I will stab Galen Weston.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
bleeping that, by the
Say
way. That is
names.
being bleeped the fuck out.
Beep. Not on YouTube, bitch.
I'm bleeping it on YouTube too. Don't you worry. I'm gonna edit that shit. I can't handle like I need to get close to Galen Weston to punch him in the face before I
Are
get
you
caught
gonna
in
bleep
trouble
that
by the
part
police.
too?
Yeah, no, this is all gonna be bleeped. Don't worry.
I thought you
about
were
it.
gonna say Doug Ford. To be honest, when you were
I
talking
know.
about
I
getting
thought
close.
it was that guy too.
Yeah. I feel like
But I mean, I feel
Him
Galen
too.
Weston as well.
I
Yeah.
I do like enemy number one right now is definitely Weston. I feel across the board. Like
In Canada, but like
Yeah.
if we're gonna go
Yeah.
world, we're going after Elon. Like he's
he
first,
has
target number one.
zero. I feel like there's like worse people, which is crazy because like right now he's like a giant fucking dirtbag. But there
I was gonna
is
say
people
worse
out
than what he
there.
just did. I don't
he
know.
is
yeah.
he's on track to be the world's first trillionaire. So
It's
he
not
has,
real money. It's in stocks and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but it doesn't matter. That's
Doesn't
all
matter.
money
It's
is for all
value.
these billionaires and shit like that. That's all it is stocks and whatever. But they still have like the power to like that's literally why he's in the position he is, because he has money, not because he's smart, talented, charismatic, nothing.
No, he stole from other people and took their work.
Yeah,
and
he's
turned
Thomas
it for his
Edison.
own.
African apartheid, and he fucking admires them. Hence the whole Roman salute the other day. Wink, wink, because it was a fucking
We know what it
Zig-Heil
was.
twice.
And I love just like
Oh,
his,
Dave
like,
answered
people-
no. Just straight
Yeah.
up told you.
Fucking no.
No.
No. Not okay. It doesn't matter the time or anything.
Yeah, I was
It's
like, it'd be 2
fucking-
weeks. No.
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 Like fucking you know what? I'll just do overnight. I'll do like a slumber party. We'll see what happens.
No. He'd be like, no.
No.
I told you, he's possessive. He's like, no one's looking at my wife.
No. Ugh.
But yeah. So like I feel like right now, just because Elon's so close to the president of the United States, who is
Are you
sadly
kidding?
one
Elon
of the
is
most
President. We're just putting Donald Trump up in front.
I don't think so, just because some of the things they disagree with, and Donald Trump likes attention too much, that he's like mad when Elon gets attention.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like they're gonna have a breakup. He's gonna be like, how dare you? Like he barely likes it when his wife gets more attention. Like what's gonna happen when like another
And
man
Elon's
who's
getting a lot of
equal-
attention though right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just because Elon Musk is currently funding the AfD in Germany right now, which is literally like pretty much the closest thing to like the Nazi party
Mm-hmm.
in Germany right now, and they might win the next election because of Elon Musk right now. So Elon Musk is like he helped Trump win this election. He's gonna help the AfD win their election, and
He's
it's
gonna help
just-
Pierre probably, because didn't he endorse him?
Oh yeah, he did.
Isn't
So-
Germany pretty anti-Nazi though? Like they're like
not
they don't tolerate
anymore.
that.
You think they would, but there are a lot of Germany. A few Germany journalists did straight up call what Elon Musk did as a Nazi salute, like to the point that it was blurred. But not all Germany publications.
No.
Okay.
So,
I like it's usually like super frowned upon in Germany to even
Well, yeah, like it's
Oh.
illegal.
a lot of things over there have changed since like even 10 years ago. Like even like, you know, European healthcare and shit. Like a lot of it has gotten so much worse. Like they've the one thing the USA exports the best is culture. So everywhere is just getting a little bit more Americanized, including Germany. And like the fact that AfD party is gaining in popularity, and they're literally a more nationalist party, and he's helping fund them and advocating for them. The Alternative for Germany, the far right and right-wing populist political party.
I feel like one day I'm gonna wake up and like the world's gonna be like, "Gotcha, this is all a joke." I would just like, how can everything society like be going like,
especially because we've done it before, and only like 100 years ago. Like,
yeah,
like it's not
like
that
society
long
is
ago.
just like it started like going up, like, and then that poor like gorilla was shot, and then like it's just like downhill. Like it's just going. The 90s is peak. Like the Matrix had it right. They're like, oh, like they're stuck in the 90s because this is like peak humanity, and like it's just going down here.
Yeah, it just, for me, it's like the 90s, like you know, the schools for Indigenous kids were still, like, residential schools were still open in Canada. So it's like
98, yeah.
yeah, so it's like for white people, yes,
Yeah.
the 90s peaked. For people of color, it never did.
No,
So,
there was no peaking
never
anywhere
peaking
for them. No.
So it's like it's like whenever people are like, "Oh, these years were so good," I'm always like,
Not really.
for
That's the problem.
who?
That's the problem I'm saying. Like it was like we're on the upcline to try and like women were getting more rights, and like and
Residential schools were closing.
2001 hit, and we're like, oh, 2002 where my life was ruined becoming a teen mom, Kara.
2001 was 9/11. You kind of you like skip 9/11. You're like 2001, that's fine, but 2002,
Yeah,
I had a baby.
fucking bitch. And then like it just, you know, but like society itself, like you could afford a house. I could afford one income, rent, groceries, everything. I didn't even work all the fucking time. Okay, I worked weekends, and I could afford like rent and groceries and whatever else. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think I worked like 1 or 2 days during the week sometimes. But like the point is, I did not work as hard as I work now.
That's like the worst part about it is everyone's working harder. We're told we're working less, and our money is not spending as far. So it's like we're being gaslit to shit. We're fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? Like, we can see with our eyes what the fuck is going on, and everywhere, including like the news journalists, are telling us that's not true. Like when CBC or whatever like posted, they're like, oh, millennials are spending all their money on things that don't last, like food.
Like, what else are they spending on? Didn't they also say like, oh, to save money, skip breakfast? Eat less. Like, what?
I thought breakfast was the most important meal of the day. It can't be both.
Right?
Yeah, skip the most important meal, guys.
Like, yeah, it is just it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. That's why, you know, the word I can't pronounce is really important, because the more people in your relationship is the more people being able to pay the rent.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like more people to watch the kids. More people. But then I feel like there'd be more kids.
There would be.
There'd be too many kids.
I feel like you invite someone that had previous children, and then they come in with their children, and then you have your children, and then it's that mixed family.
I have no problem with kids as long as I'm not the only one doing it. You know what I mean? So if I had like 20 kids but 8 fucking parents, and we're all just fucking switching it up, like I would have no problem.
Yeah, I get if like more people are doing more work, like
yeah.
Although, like, my kids would be so mad if I brought other kids in the house. Like, my kids are like iPad kids, but they're also like leave me the fuck alone kids. Like, and if other kids are being loud in the house, because those are like normal kids run around and do things, okay? They're rambunctious. Like that's the normal child behavior. My kids would cry. I feel like they would like set the house on fire. I like every day my kids don't set the house on fire. It's a good day already. So like I just they couldn't handle it. My kids would not like that kind of relationship.
Fair. I mean, when I started dating after leaving my son's father, I purposefully, like at the time I was 23, so I was like, I am not dating anyone that has kids because I would get attached to the kid, and I would assume the kid would get attached to me because I'm awesome, and I assume my kid might get attached to their kid, and I'm like, I don't want to break up with that many people.
That's a lot of breakup.
Yeah, I feel like that's a problem with polyamory too. Is like you go through more breakups because you're dating
all that
more
ice
people.
cream, fucking Ben and Jerry's. They should like start promoting.
Oh, Ben and Jerry's king.
They are.
I love Ben and Jerry's. They're like posting on TikTok about all their protests and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
Yeah, they pulled
The reason
out
why-
of Israel. Like,
Yeah, the reason why their ice cream is so expensive too, it has nothing to do with like profits. Is they pay their workers a living wage.
Fucking Ben and Jerry's is king.
And it's real dairy, guys.
It is.
It's not
It is.
fucking
And their
ice
flavors.
milk.
Their flavors are amazing. Like half baked, it's brownie and cookie dough together. You don't make that shit up. That's fucking delicious.
Yeah, like it's like fucking $10 for a tiny little
I don't give a fuck.
this. I
For
cry. I'm like,
so-
how?
for social rights.
Yeah,
It's funny. To have a
it's
big ass
fucking
cake is
right.
$24. I mean, I'd rather spend 10 and have a little thing of ice cream.
Leftist is when your ice cream is $10.
Right? It's just you cry because you know people are going home to feed their families. Like, that's so expensive, but it's worth it.
I do want to touch a little bit on because there's a few parts of his stuff. Like we talked about polyamory, but there's a few parts we didn't touch on. He talks about like monogamy being a capitalist construct, which personally I think so, just because marriage is more of a financial contract than anything else.
So fucking expensive.
Yeah. It's always been like, even like back in time, like when marriage like was like when like they did it for like in the old days where they would sell their daughters off to their future
They
husbands,
pay
like
the dowry.
yeah, like it's always been a contract.
Yeah, because we're
For payment.
property.
Yeah,
Like
women have
even
always been
now, like the dads walking them down the aisle to give the wives of
asking
the
permission to
husband.
marry the girl too. Like that's so stupid.
Yeah. So, yes. I feel like monogamy, and I feel like there's like monogamy is fine. Like I thrive on monogamy. Like I'm like, you're in the friend zone. You're in the friend zone. You're in the friend zone. And friend zone doesn't mean you don't see me naked or I kiss you. Tell these girls.
That's right. You still get to like kiss and see Jessica naked. Like that's part of the perks. That's
I've seen
friendship
Jessica naked
perks.
a lot. Okay,
Right, yeah.
I've spent a whole weekend with her in Niagara Falls. Not naked.
I know. Every time I'm like, if you want me to change in the bathroom, I will. But then I wait for her, and she's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay. Like, you know,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't care. I'm I'm asking your boundaries first. If you don't
Yeah.
want to see me naked, you don't have to. I'm not forcing it on you.
Right? Like consent.
But like I you know, I do feel like if God forbid anything ever happened with Chris and me, like I probably would never get into like a one-on-one relationship again, or at least with a man. Maybe with a woman I might add, like let them, like I'll be like, okay, if you want to just try monogamy, I'll try again. But yeah, like I feel like you need community, and it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like with kids, sure, but once my kids are older, and it's just like if it was just me, like one-on-one, like.
Sounds boring.
Yeah. and it has nothing to do with the sex. Like sex, like I have no problem having sex with my husband for 11 years. Like that's, you can change it up with the same person. Like it almost feels better when it's with someone you're comfortable with, you know? Like,
Right? Safe dick.
Right. Safe dick. Like all of that is great. It's more like even just about like hanging out with different people.
Yeah.
Like that's just like having different people like fulfill whatever different needs you have, even socially at those moments.
Right? You could like have the perfect partner by picking like different traits from different partners, like a fucking video game character.
Yes.
Like a cut and paste.
And he does ask if it's patriarchal, which of course our entire society is patriarchal. So of course the way our wedding structures, our marriage structures are inherently patriarchal under the system. That doesn't mean they have to be patriarchal individually.
Yeah, like in your own
towards that.
relationship.
Yeah, you can work towards, but like we live just like we live in a white supremacist system. So you have to like unlearn those things.
Mhm.
Like straight couples tend to be more equal when they're like girlfriend boyfriend than they are once they're married with children. And then the woman generally ends up with this burden just because that's how society has structured it. And so you have to like have active conversations.
That's
to
why
make
we
sure
need
that-
feminism. So your husband can stay home. You want a paternity leave? Thank feminism. That's what that is.
Did you guys see that TikTok of the man that was taking his like bro to dinner, and on top of like the text is like, taking my bro to dinner instead of wasting my money on these bitch ass hoes or whatever, and like all the comments are women going, you should take your friends to dinner, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to bring us into it? Go
Yeah.
have friends.
Yes. Go out. Have a good time. Like,
Yeah.
leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, and I feel like polyamory is good for that too, because then it's like,
Yes.
you know, your partner needs you, but you're not. You have your own shit going on. Hey, have you called up your girlfriend Michelle? Maybe she might be free tonight. You know, like I
Right?
feel
Like-
like
Like, you know, like I have like all this like work I need to work on. Maybe go
Yeah.
hang out with Michelle. Leave
yeah,
me
I'm
alone.
unavailable tonight. I'm so sorry.
Right? Like I want to sleep on my own with the dogs. Go see Michelle.
I don't even know if I know Michelle.
I don't know Michelle either.
That's why I kind of picked that name. I was like, I'm not close with any Michelles. I'm gonna pick a random Michelle. So sorry, Michelle. if you're
Do I
listening.
know Michelle? I don't think I know Michelle. If I know Michelle and you're listening, I'm sorry.
And thank you so much for listening.
Yes,
and knowing
thank you
one
for
of us.
one. Thank
It's
you
so
for
hard to get
listening.
friends and family to listen.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
No, I don't know. I don't know any names of anybody I've ever met. Like I'm just oh, no. My brain just went,
Jessica, Dawn Marie.
That's it. I don't know anyone's name anymore.
She doesn't even know her children's name anymore. She's like, I named them something.
Child number 1.
I do. That's how I do it because I don't want to mess up pronouns or new names. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Do
They're in a
Kidlet-
number system now.
I
Just
do.
bark
I
on
like
them.
Kidlet number 1, Kidlet number 2, or love of my life. Always, I'm like, oh, love of my life. How are you doing? Yeah, I want to be respectful, but my brain is mush a lot of the time. So I'm like, no, like I don't call them by anything except for
That's
like cute little
fair.
nicknames. Except for I always talk about my youngest. I always call them Junior, regardless. Only because their middle name is my first name. So regardless of what their gender is or pronouns are, it's always going to be Junior. I try not to say their names like on the air. Although I did like out like Kara. It's okay. She's 22.
I was gonna say, she's 22.
She's an adult.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I say my kids' first names. I mean,
Oh,
their
yeah.
last names are all different. Their middle names are all different. And it is what it is. If someone's stalking us, you know what? Let me press charges. Maybe we'll get on
We
TMZ.
know. I've ruined a few holidays. I know there's people stalking me.
I
It's
wish they
fine.
would talk more. Like I hate having stalkers that don't even help out. Like just dislike us and then tell us why. Like
Right? At
like-
least comment on something.
Right. Like if you're gonna stalk, totally cool, whatever. You're giving us the views, but just like let us know. Just be like lurking, like just-
Yeah.
Lurking.
I can see
Sparkles.
Sonya's being a bitch this week. Like that, at least like, you know, you can
Yeah.
call me mean names. I don't care. Like just
Yeah.
let us know.
grow some Kyle-sized balls and
Like,
let us
that's
know what you
fuck-
think.
Yeah.
Giant ass fucking balls. Listen, I can tell you some things about them. And like the fact that I talk about this man's genitals so fucking much on our show, and like there's still people who are like, related to him who like listened to find out things. Like, I'm pretty sure maybe the second episode in, you should have stopped listening
Yeah.
because I say some nasty ass stuff. Like,
You do.
my kids are scarred for life because I sometimes get really loud and they'll sit hanging out with the dogs and cats. They're like, oh my God, like my mom's a fucking pervert. Like,
You know what? That's fair. There's good perverts and there's bad perverts. You got to teach your kids which one's which.
right? I'm
age.
like, loving your father. This is a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
like-
allowed to grab your father's ass. Like,
Yeah.
we
We talk about ongoing consent
Yeah.
and like how still if I say no, it means no. Like, it's important to teach your kids boundaries, even with the people they're in relationships with. Like,
Yeah.
it-
And now if an adult grabs your ass, you got to tell mommy. See, like, it's.
oh my gosh, I go to prison.
Exactly. For more
Like-
than 2 weeks. And then you'll be.
Oh,
okay.
it would be a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would definitely like if I saw Doug Ford near my children, I
Like-
would stab. You know.
Like, not even like just like a kissing baby scenario.
No,
Like, you're just like, no, I'm in danger.
danger. I mean,
Danger.
for realsies, like anyone with autistic children, Doug Ford is a danger. So
He has been this longest time. Like, the fact that people don't see all the like, I have a friend and their partner is a conservative like campaigner,
Mhm.
and they always post stuff about conservative views, like, oh, carbon tax, and I'm just always like, listen, your friends are like on the spectrum and have children on the spectrum. Pretty sure you're fucking on the spectrum and you're okay with all these services, like. And then they post things about, autism people, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. That's fuck you. You don't care. You can't pretend you care because
Mhm.
you don't. Like,
So, so right now, what the next election is? I'm trying to find the date. Ford
Oh,
just
it's February.
announced it.
I think it's like February
27th is what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
So and he's winning in the polls. So fuck
please
him.
fucking vote.
Only a month until the election. Like, that is crazy fast. That's insane.
You know what you should do? Share with all your friends the TVO levels of government, who's in charge of what, and the who you should vote for based on your policy. Like, just link it to everybody. Like,
We'll
hey,
fucking link it in the description so you have it readily available to link. it
even
to
for our
everyone.
non-Canadian listeners, like, maybe you're not as right as you think you are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you might agree with a different political party. You've just been told to view
Yeah.
this person as better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So fuck Ford. I'm hoping
Fuck
we
Ford.
vote him out, but I'm not confident.
No,
No.
because it's not enough time, and he knows it. And
He
He's
just gave
driving
out
on
the
the
checks.
positive.
he knows
yeah.
how
About
to
the
play the
checks.
game. Yeah.
He's the
checks.
anti-Trump guy now.
Yeah, the positive light that he's getting. Like, everyone forgot about the green belt. Everyone forgot about
Ontario
All the
Place,
strikes.
Science Center on
Yeah.
the autism OAP program.
Yeah. I just he knows what he's doing. That's a scary thing.
I know.
That's the problem.
Right wingers are so good at politics, and they're so like, including their base, they're so like on the same length, but there's no real left wing politician out there. There just isn't. Even our socialist party has landlord members, so they are not socialist inherently. Like, that's just how that goes. You can't be making money off of your you can't you can't own the means of production and then be a fucking socialist. Sorry. But yeah, so there's that. I mean, at least we do have, like, yes, they've never gotten a lot of power, but we do have like a lot of different niche parties. I just wish they would get the same airplay as these other parties.
It's
But
because
not
it's
a
all
fair.
about the seats. There's not enough people even to fill the seats in these parties. Like,
But
it's
even
just-
if they did, it would dilute it enough that they would have to build more coalitions as
Yeah.
long as the one government has a minority, you know? So then they would have to, like, concede to more different, like even the NDP forcing the Liberals to concede to like $2,000 CERB checks. If we had more people in an even farther leftist party there, they might not even be unable to like just use the NDP. They might be forced to even use an even farther leftist party.
Yeah.
And then, so.
We need different voting system altogether.
Yes. Like
need to,
Trudeau ran on.
I feel like a nobody, like, so when you're running for mayor of a city or a town, you don't have to have a political affiliate. Like, that's something completely different. I feel like the head of the country should also have that opportunity. Just some Joe down the street, like, getting people hyped up and like, I can't pay the $200K for seats, but I still want to lead the country. I think he should have that opportunity if the rest of the country is like, yes, Joe, fucking do it.
I mean, in the
Go
States,
fund me.
that's what you can do. Fucking with Joe, the Joe Exotic ran for president or whatever. Literally, Joe.
Little Joe, yeah.
Joe Exotic, he's the tiger guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't get much traction though.
Tiger King.
Tiger King. He's still in prison. Even
Good.
though Trump pardoned all of the January 6th rioters, including the woman that hid fetuses in her fridge.
Oh my God, don't start.
Yeah, he still didn't pardon Joe Exotic. So.
That's because he hurt tigers. Like,
compared
it's
to the people that
different.
like hurt cops and stuff,
It's completely different.
Again, animals are
Trump is very pro animal.
Just like
Apparently,
farting in dogs' faces. Okay, it's not right. Not right.
was that in Patreon or did we talk about it here?
It was fucking like Domry's like, yeah, take down your
It's
pants.
so funny. Okay, I did not condone bare ass farting on dogs. Okay, that was Dawn first off, but
I didn't say do it bare ass. I was just like pink eye, and then you guys are like, that must mean
But
bare ass.
pink eye doesn't travel through your pants.
It could.
like poop particles are pretty big.
You
Like,
never
yeah,
know.
and like a lot of farts don't hold poop particles, but like you need to like maybe have just pooped and not wiped very good for it to like,
Or have a
No.
poop really near.
yeah,
Like the farts pre
right at the door.
Yeah.
It's just knocking, and then like blow some arrow. It's like the air conditioning from your anus goes into people's eye. That's how you get
Big
the pink
guy.
eye. Yeah,
Wash your
or like
hands.
just like stick your finger and then poke someone's eye like that.
Oh
it's-
my
it's
god,
not
if
that
I
easy.
ever get attacked.
Oh my God.
Like you're taking a piece of me with you.
It's
like-
DNA.
Like you're not running. Fucking this smell, bitch. Fucking Simba. Like what
Circle of life.
I'm like I go to the cops, they're like, give me a description of the guy. I was like, he's covered in my shit.
Fucking get your dogs. Your dogs will find him.
I fucking pulled down my pants, fart on them.
Go find him. Go find him.
I'd be like, see, Sonia, sometimes it's good to fart on dogs.
I gotta try something. I gotta prove my friend wrong. If you have a canine dog, you want to do some training, let us know.
We just want to test it for science.
We need to know if they can find Jessica's poo particles. We'll hide them somewhere in the park. Jessica will fart on your
Your
dog.
dog
and
might
you
get
just-
pink eye, but it's all good.
It's just part of the experiment.
It's for science. Oh,
my
poor
God.
dogs. No.
Okay. Evan, I hope. Oh, shit. Sorry. Cut.
You're doing a lot of editing this episode.
Yeah,
So
that's
much
fine. It's
bleeping
fine.
out.
That was fine for YouTube. Zingy, I hope we answered your question. Yeah, if you have any questions for future episodes, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description, and let us know, or comment wherever the fuck you want. And let us know what you want us to talk about, or email us at opinionatedlushes@gmail.com. And See, we'll talk about it. We do that.
Like, even if you don't want us to talk about something, right? Not that too.
Yeah. They're like,
We will still
Sonya's
probably
poop.
question at it.
We're like, we can't do that. Sorry.
Yeah, just don't mention poop. Like
for one fucking episode.
No.
Just don't talk about it. By the way, we're still looking for a GI tract specialist. So if you happen to stumble upon this podcast, give us a call. Except for
Or
call, because I
hashtag
hate
poop.
talking on the phone. But
text
email us.
email, yes. And like for all of our socials and how to find us, including Patreon, you can go to uneditedlushes.com. And speaking of Patreon, we have our Stephanie Hurst VIP. She is the top tier, so she gets a shout out. Thank you, Stephanie. We love you.
Thank you, Stephanie. If you want to be as cool as Stephanie and get your name shout out at the end of our episode, join our Patreon at the top tier. But you can join at our lowest tier or at our $5 and up tier. You get access to our Patreon pre-drinks specials, which is what we record before we record this. So that's where we name drop and you don't hear the beeps.
There's no bleepers.
No bleepers. Those are completely unedited. So you get to hear all the drama fresh. And don't forget to check out on Thursdays, Books and Booze Season 3 is currently back. So listen to that on our Thursdays if you're into, authors, writing books, etc., etc., etc.
woo.
And
Yeah,
hopefully
bye.
Dawn feels better.
Yeah,
next
hopefully
week.
our voice is back next week.
Hopefully.
One of these episodes will all be healthy. Not today, not
Not today.
tomorrow,
No.
but one day.
One day. You'll see. You'll see.
We'll try next week. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next week.
Good night.
Bye.